One of my liaisons emailed me and asked me, did I want to review this deck? And I was like, I recognize this deck. I've seen this deck somewhere before. And I looked at the name and I was like, this does not ring a bell. Then I started looking and I realized it's because I have this one. That's what it dawned on me. I have this one and it looks so much like this one to me. This is a beautiful deck. It's called Nature's Whispers, and I use it a lot. That's why it was right next to me. And I just love the artwork. And that's why when I was asked about this one, I was like, I recognize this deck. And that's why. It's by the same creator, Josephine Wall. It's a 50 card deck. It was given to me for the purposes of doing an honest review. I love angels. Love them, love them, love them, love them. And work with them often. And so it was really like a no-brainer to me. Of course I'm gonna of course I'm gonna review this deck with bells on. Are you serious? So it was given to us for an honest review, and we're going to honestly review it. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for the wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please pass it on to other people who might like this deck. If you want to get a reading done, please hit me up on my socials or email me. Underneath this video, you will find all of my contact information, and you will also find a link to where you can get a legitimate copy of this deck. There are a lot of fakes and counterfeits going around. I saw one today, and it said, going out of business. Everything must go. Tarot decks, $10. And I looked at that and I was like, I've seen this same ad 4 times for 4 different businesses. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all got the same pictures? This is suspicious. So be really careful. Always ask for a legitimate link whenever possible. So I'm going to give you one whenever possible underneath the video. Let's see. Anything else? I think that's it. Let's take a look at our deck. So, let's see. The first thing we always look at is how to get the deck out. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is there's no finger holes on the sides. So, when there's no finger holes, I usually take the deck and let gravity pull it down. And when that doesn't work, because it's not working right now, I do the same thing, and let me show you. I just keep pulling it. I keep shaking it and pulling it until it comes down. And this is a brand new deck, as you can hear. So it's still got the air in it, and I cannot get the air to come out of it, so we can get the deck out. This is why you need finger holes. This is why I always say, oh, finger holes, because I'm always excited. But there we go. I had to take some scissors and put it underneath it. So that's the only thing there, see? So that can be annoying, and that could be fixed by putting finger holes in. So that's one change I would definitely make to the box. Now, before I get into it, the box is sturdy though. This is a good quality box. Almost too much. Almost too much, so it didn't want to let the cards out. So let's take a look. We have a guidebook. Each picture is in here. The message is in there. And a summary is in there. There's how to use the deck in the front. I just saw a spread, so they gave us some spreads. Yeah, they gave us some spreads. It's not full color, but it gives us a great explanation. Now, if you're trying to use these, they don't have the upright and the reverse in here. So some of us will use the reversals anyway. You just got to do it yourself. It's basically the opposite meaning to what the upright is. Or you can just not use them with reversals and take any card that comes out as being in the upright. It's up to you. I generally just do my own reversals. Okay, look at that. Okay. I like the fact that this is paper. Save a tree, baby. Hopefully they'll recycle the paper. And that's how we save the trees. Let's just see. Here, let me get the other holder. But the important part is that it's not plastic. That is what I don't like. Alright. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. As soon as I saw the first card, I'm like, excuse me. The back is beautiful. Look at that. Let me see. Yeah, that's the right side up. First of all, not too thick, not too thin. Very glossy though. So if you're a glossy hater, they're very glossy. I like it. I like the size too, because I can grip it just like that. No problems. Don't have to hyperextend my hand. I like the backs. It's not too thick. It's not too thin. Perfect. Let's look at number one. All right. So what we see here immediately there. Okay. So each card has a number and it has a name of the card. And the artwork is really pretty. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is really gorgeous. Let's go. Let's go into ooh. They're a little stuck together because they just come out. So you'll hear me back here struggling to get them apart. That's all. She is so pretty. I really love the artwork. I love the way the artwork extends all the way to the edge, but it has this line around it. I love that. That is my favorite because I don't like borders. I mean, I'll deal with a border if I have to, but I really would prefer not to. And this is perfect. I can deal with this because the artwork continues. She's really pretty. Oh. Yeah, some of the cards are stuck together. When you first get them, you have to make sure to separate them. Look at her. Oh my goodness. The art is stunning. That's what I was saying about the other deck. Both of these, this is similar artwork. I don't think it was done by the same artist. I don't know if it was or not because the decks have two different names on them. This deck says that, let me see. They're both created by the same person. Yeah, they're both created by the same person. The cover design was by Richard Crooks. So, but that's just the cover though. So I don't know. It seems to me the style looks the same. That's why I'm questioning it because the style of the art style looks the same. And to be honest with you, these are supposed to be angels, right? And I cannot tell. Like I'm looking at their skin, I'm looking at their features, I'm looking at their like I can't tell where the hell they're from. I don't know if they're otherworldly. I like they could be from another dimension. They could. I don't even know. This interpretation of angel is a beautiful interpretation, but it's like it's really cool because it's leaving my imagination. Like where are they from? I'm looking at them because I'm like she looks kind of lavender to me. Like I like it's really opening my imagination. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. The rainbows, the colors, they're just gorgeous. Very fitting for an angel deck. The color scheme. Wait a minute, guys. I'm fighting with cards. 7 and 8. They don't want to be apart. All right, here's 7. Yeah, 7 and 8 was fighting me. Okay. Okay. And as we're going through them, I'm looking at the meanings of them. They're different than the other deck. See, I've seen several decks that look like this. There's Nature's Whisper, there's Angel. I don't know if it's 2 or if it's more. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 with that same kind of vibration. And it seems to me they're all using different keywords though. Let me see. Is that 9? Yeah, that's 9. Yeah, see, like she's like translucent. So it's like These angels are really cool. I like it because different people have different ideas of what angels look like. So I like that vibration. Somebody was telling me that they don't like they were reading, one of the holy books, and they were saying that the description was nowhere near the description that we use of these winged beings. They said they looked more strange, unusual. So different cultures, different groups of people have different interpretations for them. So I like that energy. I definitely wish they had been more like multicultural though, because most of them seem to have European features, and the people in here seem to have European features. I would love to see like multicultural angels, angels from Africa, which I have seen before. Kyle Gray has a deck, and he has angels from all different cultures in the deck. And not even one deck. Kyle has a lot of decks, if I'm not mistaken. And I like that. I like that multicultural energy. I think this deck needs more of that too. It's very attractive, but that would elevate it. I'm gonna give this deck a 9 out of 10. If it had more of the diversity that I'm talking about, it would have been a 10 out of 10. Oh my goodness. There is like some kind of interdimensional diversity. I see it going on because he looks like he clearly is not human. And he doesn't look angels that I know. So yeah, there is like some type of diversity. It's just more, I would say, interdimensional, which is cool. I'm down with that, but I would love to have seen, this sister right here, rocking an afro. That would have been cool. Um, but yeah, they're beautiful. They are beautiful. And I'm gonna take one when we're finished looking at these, as I gotta see all of these. But when we're finished looking at them, I'm going to take one and I'm going to read its summary so we can see what kind of advice you can expect from this particular deck. See, look at this person's ears. That's why I'm saying it's giving me interdimensional. That's what I'm getting from it. I'm getting angels from different dimensions, I don't know where. She's pretty though. I think she's beautiful with her pretty blue skin. But yeah, that's what I'm getting from it. So if they're going for interdimensional, it's cool. I mean, it's hitting the mark. Look at these twin angels. I've always loved angels. I work with angels in my practices. Even as a child, when I grew up Catholic, that's why I said every culture that I've been a part of had angels. Oh, the Pegasus with the unicorn horn, a pegacorn. I like the fantasy aspect. That's my favorite part about this art style. And you see it present in the other deck too. Very fantasy, very whimsical. And I'm all for it. I'm all for fantasies, elves, fairies, mermaids, mermen, unicorns, all of that. I'm about all of it, and it just looks so beautiful in these illustrations. That's why that other deck is right next to me, because I'm gonna tell you something. This artwork, this style of artwork makes me feel good. So if I'm sitting out here and I'm having a hard day, when I finish with my client, I will pull out that Nature's Whispers deck. And now I'll pull out this one. I might switch it out just for, switch them, go back and forth between the two of them. Because I would do the same thing with this one. I will pull this out and just look at the pretty cards. Just look at the pretty pictures. They make me feel good. And look at this. This is like a little pixie or a little sprite or something. And then the angel's talking to her. So it's like, yeah, interdimensional all day. I love it. Discrimination. Mm, man, this is decent. This is really decent. Sometimes you get a deck and you look at it and you just get lost. This is a great deck for meditation, because I was sitting here thinking to myself, this is great to use for altar work. If you're trying to manifest something, this would be great for that. But it looks to me like one card pulls could be great for this. But I'm also feeling strongly. Look at this. Oh, that touches me right in the feels. Meditation. I could put this card right here in front of me and just stare at it and see what comes to me. Beautiful. And you can get lost in these. See, the kind of cards that are good for meditation are the kind of cards that you can get lost in. You can get lost in all of the lines and the animals and the activities and stuff like that. Those are the kind of cards I like to use for meditation. Put on some soothing music. Make sure you're alone. And this would be great for that. Just see what you pull and where it takes you. Because whatever you pull, once you cleanse these and get them together, I always cleanse my decks before I use them. Everybody doesn't do that though. But I always cleanse the deck and then I use it. So once I've cleansed these, I can just sit and stare at them. And the colors, it's like color therapy. It really does affect your mood. So this is one of those kinds of decks. I got a couple of them that I can use for that. And this is definitely going to be one of them. Beautiful. 32. Courage. Yeah, this is fantastic. Look at in the flowers. Let me try to get this apart. The flowers. Look at that. I might take my X-Acto knife and cut some finger holes into this box myself because I am not going to fight this box to get inside of it. I think I'm going to have to just do that. So for the creators out there, don't forget the finger holes. Look at that, 35 independence. Wow. And this art style is like, it's phenomenal. I think that's what makes me get lost in it. I get lost in all the shapes and all of the colors. That's beautiful. 37 is caring. Oh, look at little baby. Wow. I like how so many of the angels are large and they're looking over these smaller places, smaller people, small little villages. Growing older. Now that's an interesting topic to come up in an oracle deck. I just heard Brooke Shields talking about what it felt like to not be the center of attention. When she was young, she was, young, tall, model, beautiful, or everybody was staring at her. And she said, now, not so much. As we get older, it's not as much. And she was saying how that made her feel. And I was thinking to myself while I was listening to her, we don't often talk enough about growing older because everybody's so youth obsessed, but it's inevitable. It's inevitable. You're not going to, be young forever. You might be able to prolong it, like Cher. Cher prolonged, she prolonged her youth well into her 50s, and she still looks good to this day. But it's inevitable that at some point we're all going to start to look older. So I think it's an important thing to consider and discuss. And most people, women and men, don't. We just, we know it's going to happen and we just kind of ignore it. Beautiful. Beware of distractions. What I like the most about this deck is that there's so many cards. It's like 50 cards in this deck. I love that. Oh, sadness. I love that. A lot of decks, most decks have between 32 and 50 cards in an oracle deck. I always like 44 to 50. That's my sweet spot. Any more than 50, you're getting into you're getting into tarot numbers any more than 50. Beautiful. You start getting into the 70s and the 80s. I saw a 100 card deck. As a matter of fact, I think I have a 100 card deck. I think I got three of them now that I think about it. And I don't use them often because they're difficult to shuffle. So that's why I said between 44 and 80, I think is really good. 44 to 50 for an oracle, 78 to 82 at the most for tarot. Because, like I said before, you got to shuffle it. The thing about cards is you have to be able to use them. I have some of the most gorgeous decks, but they're not functional because the cards aren't shuffleable. That's a problem. So that's a big thing for creators to remember, as well as consumers. You know, always ask the person that's doing the review how easy or difficult they may be as far as shuffling. Alright, so wait a minute. I am going to pull, excuse that, I just bumped the poor thing. Okay, let's put this here. Trying to get my camera to focus on inner abundance. Thank you, camera. All right, we're going to read inner abundance because this is one of the cards that stood out to me. Inner abundance. It has a message. The message says, life gives you so much. It is not outer riches, though, that make a life worth living. Angels attach no importance to possessions. The wealth that the angels manage does not contain any physical riches. Rather, it is made up of the gifts that have been endowed upon you for this life. You are blessed with talents, and it is essential to bring these to the surface. We tend to admire others for their gifts, yet there is a wealth of something special in every single human being. Ask dear friends what they particularly appreciate about you. You will be amazed. All right, so that's inner abundance. Okay, I'm feeling that. Let's pull one more since these are so spectacular. Inner beauty. Interesting that the ones I keep on grabbing are about the inside, the relationship with the self. And that's where I'm gravitating these days. In my personal journey is my relationship with myself. So that's interesting. Because I just grabbed this one and I'm like, okay, inner stuff again. A blessing is a sacred act. It takes a selfless heart to ask for one. Do you urgently need a blessing for a oh, hold on. Oh, that's blessing. I'm sorry. I was supposed to be doing inner beauty. And I do need a blessing. So maybe that's what's telling me. Ask for my blessing. I will ask for my blessing. You are beautiful and graceful. Turn your gaze away from external appearances and toward your true inner beauty. External appearance is given great importance in today's world. Instead of developing our inner grace and achieving more perfection, the focus is on the outside, on clothing, hairstyle, and embellishments of all kinds. For the angels, there is no external beauty. They look directly into your heart and discover your true beauty. Wouldn't it be liberating to not think about how you look today or what you should wear? Find your natural character again, and you will shine from the inside out. That's cool. This is cool. I like this a lot. Um, so yeah, the issue I mentioned about the finger hole and the issue I mentioned about wanting to see more diversity in the actual illustrations are the only issues that I really can see. So that's why I gave this deck a 9 out of 10. Now I have to give it an 8 out of 10 because I forgot about the finger holes. So 8 out of 10. And like I said before, it's a beautiful deck. It's a solid deck. It needs very small tweaks to be perfect, actually. In my mind, anyway. Somebody else might have other tweaks. But in my mind, those are the only ones because I love everything else about it. So I recommend you take a look at the link below if you like this deck. and get yourself a copy and let me know if what you think about it. I'm on social media. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube, obviously. So hit me up and you please come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.